is you'll have more than one variables when we're talking about literal equations, okay? So, do you remember how in the past we only had x in our equation or we only had y? Now we're going to see x and y together. And I'm going to walk you through how to solve those, okay? So, take a look at our first example. It says solve the literal equation for 3y plus 4x equals 9 for the variable y. Notice, I wrote y is your variable. We're going to treat all the other variables as constants, okay? So, go to your equation right here. We're solving for y. Highlight the one y that you see there. You guys all see the y right here? Highlight it. When we do these problems, okay, all you're going to do is you're going to make sure that y is by itself, and then we're done. We've solved it, okay? So we're going to isolate y. Move anything that doesn't have a y in it to the other side. What would we have to move in this case? Hannah? Very good. The 4x. How do we move 4x to the other side? What operation should I use? Subtraction. So subtract 4x from both sides. Trick question. What is 9 minus 4x going to give me? It's not going to be 5x. Cole? 5. Nope. Patterson? Thank you. 9 minus 4x. Why can't I subtract 4x from 9? One has a variable, one does not. Do we see that? Are they like terms? No. Okay. So we have 3y. Do you agree the 4x is now gone from the left? So 3y equals 9 minus 4x. Is y closer to being isolated? Yes. Is it isolated yet, though? No. What do I need to do as my last step? Divide by 3. If I divide the left side by 3, I must divide the right side by 3. These 3's are going to cancel. I'm going to get y equals 9 minus 4x over 3. This is my answer. It said solve for y, correct? I know I'm done when what happens? Is y by itself here? Highlight it, okay? That means that we're done. One thing I need you guys to make a note of, okay? The only time this 3 is going to be distributed to both terms if it goes in evenly. Okay, so does 3 go into 9? Yeah, it does. It goes in 3 times. Do you guys agree? But does 3 go into negative 4? So we're not going to move it to either one. We're just going to leave it as our denominator. Are we cool with that? Leave it like this. Gucci? Okay, let's do another one. Solve the literal equation, but what are we solving for this time? X. So highlight the x in your equation, okay? We're solving for x, so highlight the x in your equation. How many are there? 2. There's 2 of them, okay? This is a different type of example. You want to make sure that you're paying attention here, okay? Are there any terms without an x that we can move over to the other side? Are there any terms without an x that we can move over to the other side? Which one? But z is part of that same term. Z is part of the 5xz term. Is there any extra term? So do you see how up above? There was a whole nother term. There was 4x that didn't have a y. Is there any term down here that doesn't have an x? No. Okay? So we're going to leave it the way that it is. If they both have your variable, watch what's going to happen. We're going to write it as y equals x times. If we pull out an x from 3x, if we divide 3x by x, what's going to be left over? X. Nope. No, 3. If we divide 5xz by x, what's going to be left over? 5z. This is what we call, we just factored out an x. Now, when you guys see this problem normally, what would you do with this x outside the parentheses? Ryan? You would distribute it, right? Please write a side note over here on the right. Let's distribute x to 3 plus 5z. Let's distribute it. What would x times 3 give me? 3x. And what would x times 5z give me? Do you see how we arrived right back where we started? Do you see how these are the exact same? So pulling out an x doesn't change our equation at all, okay? We're just dividing by x and pulling it out in front. Okay? We're going to do another example like this, but are we all clear with what I did here? Even if you're like, I'm kind of confused, I need you to ask. Yeah, Luciana?
Is that the answer?
No, not yet. We're not done yet. Because remember, we're solving for what variable? X, right? Is x on one side of the equation by itself? Okay. What's going on between the x and what's inside the parentheses? What operation's going on there? You guys agree it's multiplication, right? What's the inverse of multiplication? Division. So we're going to divide both sides by something that will make x by itself. Does anyone think they know what we need to divide by? Luciana? No. Yeah? Nope. Sebastian?
3 plus 5z.
Very good. Watch what happens. If we divide this right-hand side by 3 plus 5z, what's going to cancel out on the right? The 3 plus 5z. And now we just have what on the right-hand side? X. Is this what we were trying to do? We were trying to get x by itself, right? Now, my left-hand side is just going to be y divided by 3 plus 5z. You don't change it at all. This is our final answer. Does it look like it's a mess? Kind of, a little bit, right? You don't get a clean answer here when you're solving literal equations. We're not going to get x equals 4 like we normally do, okay? You're going to get something a little bit messy. Questions? Okay, let's do another one. You're going to go to the next page, go up to A. Solve each of these for what variable? For y. Highlight your y. We're not done until that y is by itself. What do I need to do? I heard someone say divide. We will eventually divide, but not as our first step. Who knows what the first step should be? Hunter?
Add x.
Why would you add x first?
To cancel out the x on one side and move it to the other.
Very good. Does that x term have a y in it? No, that takes priority. You want to move that one over, okay? When we add x here, the x's go away. We now have 3y equals 10x, right? Is it 10x? Chloe's shaking her head no. Why is it not 10x, Chloe? Very good. The 9 has no x. So what do I write on the right-hand side? 9 plus x. You leave it the way that it is. Are we all clear on this step? Okay. What's my last step, peeps? Luciana? Now I divide by 3. I'm going to get y equals. Is 9 divisible by 3? Is x divisible by 3? No. So should I distribute the 3 to both terms? Nope. You're going to leave it as 9 plus x over 3. Please write a side note over here. If we got 9 plus 3x over 3. Does anyone know, if we got 9 plus 3x over 3, how this would simplify the blue expression? Ryan? It would be 3 plus x, okay? Because 3 goes into 9 how many times? 3. And 3 goes into 3 how many times? 1. So you technically have 3 plus 1x. We just write it as 3 plus x. Do we all see that? You only move the denominator away if it goes into both terms. Gucci? Okay. Try B on your own. Go. All right. Someone from one of the groups, explain what you did. Who got it right? Ava.
Okay, so I did minus 2x to the 2x and 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gave me minus 2 2y equals 5 minus 2x.
Mm-hmm.
And then I divided by -2. And then got an even answer.
Very good.
Cancel out the negatives.
Very, very good. Okay. Are we clear about what to do here? Any questions on this example? Excelente. Okay, moving on. C. Go for it. Keep going. Thank you. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. Whoa. This looks way different than my final answer. What did my do for my final answer, Hannah?
You divided 4, like, 4 goes into 20 and into 8.
Very good. 4 goes into 20 how many times? That's where the 5 came from. How many times does 4 go into -8? -2 times. We Gucci? Okay. A is a trick question. Solve it for what variable? X. So we're solving for X now. Solve A for X. It should take you 2 seconds. Cole?
Y equals X.
Y equals X. Why is it Y equals X?
Because 5x minus 4x equals X.
Very good. Are these like terms? Yes, because their variables match exactly. Do we see that? 5x minus 4x is going to give me 1x. Do you agree? That's the same as y equals x. Is it solved for x? Because x is by itself on one side of the equation. Okay? Go to the next page. Try C. Try C. We have 2 examples left and then we're done, peeps. We're still solving for what variable? For x.